Hello. So for the two programs that I decided to compare, I picked the boys soccer team, and I also picked the girls soccer team. A couple things to point out about the charts. They're both exactly the same. It has your typical where the event is, where you're going, or excuse me, same thing, where you're going to, return time, when are you getting back to your school, where we are going, and where we are dropping the kids back off, number of students that is traveling, the amount of miles round trip, so there and back. Everything is 75 cents cost per mile. And then we have our total trip cost on the far right for both of them, and it gives us per trip, and then it gives us a total amount. So a couple things that kind of stood out to me was that despite the girls actually playing, excuse me, playing more games, it costs them far less money. So we have $804 here for the girls, and we have $1,422 for the boys. There are a couple different reasons for this. If you look where we are going, you'll notice down here we have some pretty big trips. Springfield, that's about 2.5 hours away from us, 328 miles. Columbia, same thing, not quite as far, but still a fairly large trip. And Jeff City. Okay, this is because they went further in the state playoffs. So, as high school sports go, when you make it further, generally the games you play are not as close. You also throw in Smithville High School, 86 miles round trip. Ray Peck's, not right next door. We have Olathe, it's another 82 miles. Olathe again. Okay, so we're traveling not a ton, but there are some trips that are a little bit longer than others. Where if you look at this and you evaluate miles round trip, we have an 82, that's Smithville, 82 Smithville, but there's nothing real substantial after that, especially when you compare it to the boys. So if we look at the miles traveled, we have 1,073, and then we have 1,896. So a very considerable difference there. This could be the same for multiple programs, boys and girls basketball. It could be the same for if track, for whatever reason, split up and girls went one place, boys went the other. Okay, but it all depends on where that individual team is going and how often they have further trips and how far that they go in the state playoffs and districts and so on. We want that. We want our teams to be successful, but we also have to understand that with that, things do get more pricey. As you can see, $246 trip to get to and back from Springfield. So those are some things that stood out to me. It was interesting to look at it, really see how it is each trip. It kind of gives me a new perspective about how finances work, and I hope this was interesting to you. Thanks.